You require some additional... Concerned about the state of your mind, are you? Well, such things ain't my specialty, but I'm happy to tend... I should make you aware that the benefits of such a procedure are exclusive. That is... Alright, just try to relax. This won't hurt. You require some additional...
Are we being watched?
The lobotomite returns. Our lobotomite. Has Dr. Mobius been denominated into scrap metal and voice module parts, as we hoped? I recommend watching your tone with me. Now, your brain had... And what could we possibly have to speak about? You have the brain, we have the technology. All you... With it, we can finally leave this place. I cannot tell you how boring this place gets. Chop. And we have so many questions to ask your brain first. About this Mojave place. A fertile testing ground. Mobius does not form alliances. He was a terrible lab partner. Yes. You are lying. No, you are not. Why would you reason with that maniac? He'll just... Yes, you can. You don't really have an alternative that I can see.
Dr. Klein, please. Let's see what its insides look like.
Klein, are you sure we've calculated all the combat probabilities here? I mean, the lobotomite confronted Mobius. Plus, you know, we haven't had a COMBAT drill in forever. I don't think we could form a tactical attack triangle if we wanted to.
Releasing the WOMBAT.
Silencing opinion.
We are bigger, smarter, and floatier than you, lobotomites. We don't wish to fight you, so... Fight? Colleagues! Think tank! Alert! Alert!
Firing brainial beams at perception lasers.
This one looks pretty tough.
The audience gasps. My tank, it put it in.
Station of hostilities complete.
Science. As it had been in the years before the Great War, Big Mountain, the Big Empty, became home to one of the brightest minds of the 23rd century. The courier watched over the Big Empty for years to come, caring for it and keeping its discoveries safe until they were needed to help others. Which had always been Big Mountain's purpose. Past the laboratories and science, it had always been intended as a place to build the future of all mankind.
The courier had scoured much of the Big Empty, although secrets still remained in the crater's depths. Perhaps that was for the best, however. Curiosity, while sometimes rewarded for its efforts, often proves to be equally dangerous.
Dr. Mobius continued his research undisturbed in the Forbidden Zone. As much as he had attempted to create better scorpions, he tried the same with humanity, with considerably less success. These failures didn't bother him overmuch. Once the rush of mentats wore off, he forgot he had failed in any event. After all, the bright young mind who had come to visit him in the Forbidden Zone had already exceeded his expectations.
The sink atop the dome bustled with the voices of a small town, constantly chirping, arguing, and snarling at each other. Still, this all happened productively in the interests of its new owner. The Sync Central Intelligence Unit discovered, despite its inversion code, it was comforted by the sense of community the other personalities gave it.
The Biological Research Station, obsessed with seeding everything in sight, requested a transfer to the X-22 Botanical Garden, so that it might, in its own words, sensually fertilize the garden's smooth contours. The garden sent back a polite refusal, saying it had prior commitments with a vault it had helped infect before the war.
The book chute continued to devour all seditious materials until it nearly choked on a paperclip. It adamantly maintained it was a Chinese paperclip, and the whole thing had been an elaborately orchestrated assassination attempt. Whatever the reason, it slowed down for a while, carefully appraising each document and clipboard that came to it.
The light switches continued to bicker and flicker.
This persisted until the day someone dropped a flashlight in the sink, and the two of them united in their hatred of the showboat. One of them eventually transferred to the Lightwave Dynamics plant and began a long, unrequited affair with one of the holograms.
The sink continued to ruthlessly scrub any particulate matter that came near it. Eventually, it gained access to the magnetohydraulics plant and nearly flooded all the Big Empty in an attempt to scrub the crater clean. Once it learned of the innovative toxins plant, however, it gained new purpose. It sought to develop antitoxins to flush into its drains and counteract the poisons bleeding into the soil.
The toaster continued its psychotic spree, reducing all appliances in range to scrap electronics and spare parts. After one of its more psychotic episodes, however, the other Sync personalities decided enough was enough and dumped the toaster in a bathtub. Sparking and hissing, the toaster swore its enemies would rue the day when they had bread and no way to toast it.
Muggy did his best to collect coffee cups, although in his quest, he accidentally trapped himself in Higgs Village. It might have been the end for poor Muggy. Except he found it peaceful there, tidying up the kitchens of the think tank professors back when they had been flesh and bone. Well, except for Dr. O, who was an asshole for having created Muggy in the first place. Muggy left O's house deliberately dirty, punishing the and cups that lived there in blind revenge for serving Dr. O.
Blind-eye old Jefferson eventually discovered a new sound. Silence. It only made him more filled with the blues. than before. It was rumored by the other personalities that he had a brief fling with the light switches. Although he forgot their names much too often and was soon left in the dark as punishment.
Autodoc, always gentle and methodical, kept sewing up the courier in all the right places when the skin split open from repeated wear and tear. The Autodoc was just glad to have purpose again. It heard its simpler brothers and sisters who got shipped to the Sierra Madre were bored out of their skulls in that toxic, dead city. In time, the Autodoc found a way to deactivate the Y-17 trauma harnesses, releasing the corpses they had held prisoner for almost 200 years.
As the courier ran through the X8 facility multiple times, the computers analyzed the test subject's movements. Rather than performing a superficial observation, they realized the subject barely knew what communism was, or even what a high school was. This confused them for a time, until the facility finally realized that its research had succeeded. So it let its cyber dogs out into the wastes to help protect small communities from physical aggression rather than communist propaganda.
The infiltration program in X-13 felt spent, having repeatedly upgraded the stealth suit until it could upgrade it no more. It felt warm, fulfilled, and a bit sluggish. It realized not long after the stealth suit had left it without so much as a note on the nightstand. So the infiltration program sent out robo-brains into the wastes, looking for its wayward technology. It eventually found Repcon HQ and set up a new research center, testing and murdering fiends who kept breaking into the facility.
The courier, organs intact, continued onwards, a little less heavy of step, but with all the organs in the right places, as they should be. After all, brains can develop a life of their own when left to their own thoughts, and the courier's brain was more clever than most.
The think tank basement, filled with lobotomized robotical frames of the doctors, now served as a graveyard. The monitors had recorded the battle in its entirety, including the think tank's final, shrill, terrified screams, whimpers, and pleas for mercy. They broadcast these humiliating last moments as a warning to anyone approaching the perimeter that other smarty pants were not welcome. The courier was the inheritor of the Big Empty, and there was room for only one will in the halls of the think tank dome.
There is an expression in the wasteland, old world blues.
It refers to those so obsessed with the past they can't see the present, much less the future, for what it is.
They stare into the what was, eyes like pilot lights, guttering and spent, as the realities of their world continue on around them.
Science is a long, steady progression into the future. What may seem a sudden event often isn't felt for years, even centuries, to come.
In the times following the Second Battle of Hoover Dam, however, Old World Blues took on a new meaning.
Where once it was viewed as a form of sadness, nostalgia, it became an expression describing the potential for the future.
It can be easy to see science as evil, technology unchecked as the source of all ills, all misfortunes.
With the courier at the helm, science became a beacon for the future. There was old world blues, and new world hope. And hope ruled the day at Big Mountain.
We could say more, but the stories in the Big Empty speak for themselves. Now armed with the transportal Ponder, the courier could return to the dome at any time and crack open the secrets of the Big Empty one by one. The sink sat vigilant, waiting for its master to return, shoes covered in Mojave dust. Only one road yet remained, and it was one the courier had to walk alone. Might I be safe in the asylum?
I love mud so much, I just might kill myself.
First recon's at Camp Forlorn Hope. Now we've got a chance to...
Well now, look what... Crazy ass shit.
And we're back. This is Mr. New Vegas, and I feel something magic in the air tonight, and I'm not just talking about the gamma radiation. If you like news, you're gonna love our next segment. Rumors persist about a super mutant refuge.
Uh-oh.
Got him spotted.
Cessation of hostilities complete.
Something to say to me?
Experiment log 369248/B. I bought Duraframe Universal Interface Override System. This is Dr. Whitley presiding. We've boosted signal gain and enlarged the overflow buffer system. That should ensure 100% connectivity and Yes! Success! Reporting full success on 3692. Great job, team. Now let's start on the proposed.
bet no one has ever been as unnoticed as me.
Warning. Warning.
Ready, steady, fighty. That's all.
Dr. Grant?
Ah, Whitley. There you are. Orders from Colonel Autumn. He feels the iBot Duraframe.
You didn't even disengage his damage avoidance protocols.
Don't be ridiculous. It's just a machine. See here. I've already
Get the hell!
Fine, Whitley. It's your lab. At least until I...
Talking done. Fighting now. I bet no one has ever been as unnoticed as me.
There's your signal. Faint, but there. Just like NCR. Voice without fire, without strength. Sick. Her tales of you walking the Mojave, giving the two-headed bear strength, giving hollow men like Kimball, like Crocker, half the life Hanlon had. Now, let's test that strength, that conviction, courier. No, not new. And not new among all those in the shadow of the bear. You know their flag. A bear with two heads. Symbols an old world one. Had one head then. Better off for it. Their flag speaks to their spirit. They're split like any two-headed animal, trying to go in different directions, ending up nowhere. In a Mojave, that'll only get you sand between your fingers, or over your grave. The Divide. This place is a slice of it. Old military. Can still smell the pride and the fear. Hope of the old world, wrapped in fencing, covered in storm. Got new inhabitants now, other than ghosts, more recent, recruits. America sleeps in the Divide, giants beneath the earth. You saw one locked in the silo beneath you. There's more. Only takes a few of them, locked below ground, to tear apart the earth and cast dust, sand, ash into the skies above. You'll see the extent, the miles of it, soon enough. For now, eyes alert, watch the streets below. There's still life in the Divide. Threats. These new inhabitants, not natives, most of them, came with duty. Left marks on them too. Not bear, not bull. Now, radiation, as vicious as the storms are. These shadows of legion, of any. Might have been, once. To the Divide they came. If you saw their corpses, you saw mercy. God, the bear and bull, NCR Legion, came in waves, before and after, right into the invisible once under different flags. Now they are equal in their. Even as the fires here burned them from within, the winds of the Divide tore their skin. And just as the Divide tears at them, so they tear at each other, for sport, like some tribal scarification. No matter what they suffer, the radiation, fire of the Divide, least been made. I'm a courier. Courier 6 was Courier 6. Like you, and not like you. In all the ways that matter. Spent too many years looking for you. Now letting you come to me. Thought carrying that ship would end you. No. You got lives in you. Hard to kill. Storms, bullets, sand and wind. Yet still you walk. For now. Words are the only way couriers meet. Sometimes it's the paths we walk. But no. We've never... You may not know my voice, but we've walked the same places. The long 15 to Prim. That wasn't the only road you ever walked. I've been to your home, the place you kept returning to. May not be the place you were born, was the place you gave. People forget couriers can keep communities alive until the day they're gone, and they're not my given name. Took it from history, found it. Ulysses lived a long time ago, long before the old world set fire to itself. Had to fight during a time when his world had 2 flags, and he had to make them one. Talking. Word. Search history. It's all right, courier. We all have death following us. Only a question of how close. With that chip weighing you down, a burden. That's death. An ending to this road, you and I. First, you need the robot with you. All of them are machines, radios, old world tech reshaped with new. Seen them as I've walked the divide, tending other machines. That one, sealed inside the Hopeville silo. It will follow you, obey you, carry it until we are face to face. Then there'll be no more need for it to... America sleeps ahead of you. Its nightmares filled with quakes. That means waking America's spears up from their slumber. There's ways. Warheads to sit up. You're resourceful. That machine, robot with you, can help you find the warheads you need to... The way ahead is below. Who are you who do not know your history? You came all this way for answers. Only currency I have. Nothing else to be gained. Could turn around, walk away. If history matters to you, you'll need to earn it. Any laws of mine. For now, find the trigger for the warheads buried in Hopeville. Use it to keep moving. The divide will send its worst against you. Road gets rougher from here. Courier. Left marks for you. They'll lead you to your home one more time. Lead to the end.
Time to fight. That's all. This one looks pretty tough.
Ugh.